Hi and welcome to this week's video. I would like to say a really big thank you to Ziggy's Cactus channel who alerted me to this gang, and of course I had to know more. I'll put a link to his great channel in the description below. Before we look into the gang, are you, like me, a member of the National Trust? The National Trust has its roots dating back to 1895, stands as a testament to the enduring commitment to safeguarding the United Kingdom's rich natural and cultural heritage. Its establishment was not merely a reaction to the encroaching threats of urbanisation and industrialisation, but a visionary response that has shaped the landscape of heritage preserved globally. In the late 19th century, as Britain gripped with consequences of rapid industrialisation, three people, Octavia Hill, Sir Robert Hunter and Canon Hardwicke Ransley, joined forces to establish the National Trust. The Trust, initially focused on natural landscape, was a reflection of the prevailing concerns of the time. Urbanisation posed a threat to the serene countryside, prompting the Trust to acquire and protect open spaces. Alveston Clergy House in Sussex marked the beginning of a journey bought by the National Trust in 1896 for £10, and this would see the National Trust gradually expand its preservation of historic buildings. The early 20th century saw the National Trust navigate the complexity of a changing landscape. The passing of the National Trust Act in 1907 provided the organisation with legal authority and financial support, enabling it to receive property bequested and donations. This legislation backing the solidifying the National Trust's position as a formidable guardian of the national heritage. Historically, the Trust acquired land by gift and sometimes by public subscription and appeal. An example of the National Trust in the Avebury area, we can look at Pickledene and the land around Lockeridge. Both areas, like Fifield Down, are covered with the tough and durable sarsen stones, which have provided building material from at least the Neolithic Bronze Age eras. Areas like Stonehenge and Avebury containing the sarsen stones, but so do a lot of nearby villages. Mid-19th century, extraction of the stones had grown into significant trade. Pickledene and other areas were at risk of losing these sarsen stones. What we see today is but a small amount of sarsen stones that once were positioned here. In 1907, a public appeal to preserve the stones raised money which enabled the National Trust to purchase the land. The organisation has constantly sought to make heritage accessible to the masses, opening its properties to visitors, organising events and providing educational programmes. The Trust has fostered a sense of shared ownership and responsibility for the nation's cultural and natural treasures. The National Trust is one of the largest landowners in the United Kingdom. The Trust owns almost 250,000 hectares of land and 780 miles of coastland. Its properties include more than 500 historic houses, castles and archaeological and industrial monuments, gardens, parks and nature reserves. Most properties are open to the public for a charge. Members have free entry, while open spaces are free to all. So that is a quick look at the National Trust, but how is this Ferguson gang involved? The Ferguson gang refers to an eccentric group who formed a secret society in the 1920s in the UK. Comprising of 5 members, the gang were known for its mysterious activities and dedication to preserving and protecting the countryside. What makes the gang particularly intriguing is the secrecy that shrouded their identities, the use of names such as Bill Stickler and Red Biddy. They also used disguises, added to the element of mystery and excitement to their endeavours. It wasn't until much later that the true identities of the gang members were revealed, adding another layer to the folklore surrounding their exploits. The gang's commitment to environmental and cultural preservation was rooted in a deep love for the British countryside. They recognised the importance of maintaining the national heritage and natural beauty in the face of rapid industrialisation and modernisation. The gang, hiding behind masks and their made-up names, were inspired by the National Trust protection of Stonehenge. In 1927, an appeal went out by the National Trust to buy land surrounding Stonehenge, as there was a fear that the land would be built upon. The land is still owned by the National Trust, but Stonehenge is owned by the English Heritage. In time, the group acquired their first project, Shelford Mill, near Guildford, Surrey, England. The mill was in danger of being demolished, with its timbers sold off and the land marketed as building plots. The Ferguson gang persuaded the owners to donate the watermill to the National Trust, on the understanding that the gang would raise the money for its repair and future running costs. From 1932 until 1966, the Ferguson gang had its headquarters at this mill. Over time, the gang raised money to rescue places like Old Town Hall in Newtown, Isle of Wight, Priory Cottages in Steventon, Oxfordshire, which was a former priory. The gang's final purchase, a Frenchman's Creek in Cornwall, in 1946. The gang acquired a headline-grabbing reputation for delivering money to the National Trust for these purchases in very odd ways. Victorian coins inside a fake pineapple, £100 notes stuffed in a cigar, £500 with a bottle of homemade sloe gin. Their stunts did attract plenty of press coverage, giving the National Trust plenty of publicity. This of course helped the National Trust with raising funds, and the gang became their most successful benefactor. In 1939, the gang unwittingly caused a bomb scare at the National Trust annual general meeting. They hired a messenger to present their donation, a £100 note inside a metallic pineapple. It is not sure how the gang raised their funds, but it's believed through activities and a series of light-hearted and creative schemes. One thought is that they organised themed tea parties and hosted fundraising events. But we do know that their theatrical and whimsical approach captivated the public's attention and brought a sense of joy to their conservation efforts. This unique blend of seriousness and playfulness helped them connect with a broader audience and making a lasting impact on the cultural perception of environmentalism. The Ferguson gang and its members went by made-up names and disguises. They managed to keep their identity a secret for many years. The gang kept minutes of their meetings in a book that they called the Boo, and even in there, their own names were not revealed. A group of American visitors contacted the National Trust in 2011, asking if they could see the rooms at Shelford Mill that had been used as the gang as their headquarters from 1932. This led to two people researching the group, leading to their amazing book, The Ferguson Gang, The Remarkable Story of the National Trust Gangsters, by Polly Bagnall and Sally Beck. This book goes into the people of the gang in a lot of detail and is really worth a read. I will put a link in the description for those who wish to find out more about the gang members. The lead members were the secrecy that shrouded their identities, and thanks to the work of these two ladies, we now know that the leaders of the group were in fact 5 women. In the broader context of history, Ferguson gang emerged during a time of significant social change. The 1920s saw the aftermath of World War I, the women's suffragette movement, and the beginning of the modern environmental movement. The gang's activities were a testament to the shifting attitudes and concerns of the era, reflecting on a growing awareness of the need of balance of progress and the preservation of cultural and natural history. Also, during the 1920s, rapid urbanisation and industrialisation were threatening the natural beauty of the British landscape. The Ferguson gang emerged as a response to this threat, aiming to raise awareness about environmental issues and advocate for the preservation of rural areas. The Ferguson gang was a remarkable and unconventional group of women who left an incredible mark on the history of environmental activism. Their commitment to preserving the British countryside, coupled with their playful and theatrical approach, sets them apart as a memorable and inspiring chapter on the ongoing story of conservation efforts. Their story continues to inspire those who value the intersection of passion, creativity, and dedication to the pursuit of positive change. Their unique blend of passion and creativity serves as a reminder that activism can take many forms, and a bit of light-heartedness can be just as powerful tools for social change. Without the National Trust and other organisations, how the landscape would have looked so different. These areas are now preserved during the ever-increasing building of our countryside. These organisations' dedicated efforts in preserving and protecting our natural heritage have played a pivotal role in shaping the identity of our communities and ensuring the continuing of our rich history. Through their commitment to ensuring historic sites, landscapes and diverse ecosystems, the National Trust has not only safeguarded the physical remnants of our past, but has also fostered a sense of pride and connection among present and future generations. Their tireless work reflects on deep appreciation for the importance of heritage and underscores this significant remembrance of shared legacy. We owe a debt of gratitude to the National Trust and other organisations for their unwavering dedication to the preserving of our collective history. I will put a link to the National Trust website below in the description. That is all for this video. I would like to say a really big thanks to the viewers and subscribers of the channel, to the Patreons and to those who have bought me a coffee. This channel wouldn't be the same without you. Your support has made it all worthwhile and I'm grateful beyond words. So if you're new here, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, Subscribe to my channel for more contents like this. Also, click the notification bell so you'll never miss an update. Until the next time, stay safe.